Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be.
2 weeks away from Detroit Lions training camp. 2 weeks away from seeing the players whom we acquired in free agency in the 2023 NFL Draft will be on the field practicing, getting ready for the 2023 NFL season, where us Lions fans have been waiting, chomping at the bit to take the team to the next level, hopefully win the NFC North, host a playoff game, and show the world that the Honolulu Blue and Silver is not no more no punk team. This team can go the distance. They got Dan Campbell, the kneecap biting cannibal, as a head coach. They got the best GM, in my opinion, that we've ever had on this football team. We got talent and stars across on offense, defense, and even on special teams. Folks, it's almost here, and that's why we are having the One Pride podcast on my channel every single Thursday, Tuesday on Lions Nation Unite. Time switch, 1 p.m. now. We're going to be doing 1 p.m. It works well for my schedule, my kids' schedule, and that's the best for everybody getting in there. We got P. Blues, Vash, Weston, Jonathan. We got Steve, Gino, and Devin Davis all in the building. Make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure you go ahead and share. Ooh, I just burped while I was talking. That probably sounded bad. To any social media platform you want to, whether it be my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LNU, all of that personal stuff. Go ahead and get her done really quick, folks, because we are getting so close to real football. What is it, 53 or 54 days till kickoff? Oh my God, that's less than 2 months away. We have been waiting patiently, and it's almost here to get it done. So we're going to give you your Detroit Lions Honolulu Blue and Kool-Aid fix-in today. No need to go ahead and look elsewhere. You get it right here, nonstop Lions for you. And that's what we're going to do for today. And there's still been a lot of rumors flying around. Hell, I got called up by my ex-father-in-law, my first baby mama's grandpa. Says, Mike, do you really believe Cooper Kupp is going to be a Detroit Lion? And I said, no, I really don't believe it. And he had his hopes up, but that's my personal opinion. I said, look, the way Brad Holmes operates, he doesn't go for a trade for a big name when you develop your own players. So I don't believe the Lions will do that. I also don't believe the Lions will make a significant trade unless there's an injury before the trade deadline. Now, that's possible. They could make a move, on that trade deadline day, but that's about October. So we don't even need to be talking about that really right now. Lisa jumped in the building. Thank you so much for getting in here and having some fun. Can we just stop with the Quinnen Williams? It's never going to happen. Same with Kupp. Mike, that is what the articles say. That's why I'm on here, and I tell you, it's probably not going to happen. As soon as they put out 10 articles, I come on here and tell you it's probably not going to happen. Why? Because I don't want you all to think that this is going to be the case. I get asked it 5 million times a day, and so I give you answers 5 million times as well. And I don't want to blow smoke up that ass. I don't want to give you false hopes. I want to keep it 100 with you. That's the best way to do it, in my opinion. What's going on, Josh Knighton? Appreciate you coming in here and enjoying the One Pride podcast with our beloved Detroit Lions. Did you guys see the Brad Holmes interview with Peter Schrager? It was really good. Very much information and insight regarding our beloved Detroit Lions. If you haven't done it, after this stream, go to NFL.com and go ahead and listen to it. If not, I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit of snippets of what he talked about. So if you're like, man, Mike, don't talk about it because I haven't listened to it, then you're probably going to want to cut out right now because I'm going to tell you just a little bit of what they talked about. Talked about Jahmyr Gibbs and the Detroit Lions and why they selected him where they selected him. First off, Brad Holmes had no idea other teams coveted Jahmyr Gibbs. He said when he selected him that he was going to go ahead and be the only general manager to make a move like that, and he wanted to get up and go as fast as humanly possible. With that said, after he made the selection, he heard from other general managers that he wouldn't have made it to 18. Other teams were looking to get him. And when he said about selected Jahmyr Gibbs, he was not selecting a running back. He was selecting an offensive weapon. That is important to understand. So if you're all about the running back, that's not how the Lions view him. They view him as a running back, wide receiver, a player that's going to make plays on offense with Ben Johnson and Jared Goff, getting the football, making some moves. It was a great, and it definitely was a great interview with Brad Holmes. Felt like you were hanging with Brad Holmes. I tell you what, because all you got to do is kind of understand what type of general manager is. He does BPA. He doesn't do what the Todd McShay says. He does BPA. That's why I said running back. That's why I said linebacker. And that's why I said Hendon Hooker specifically. Jack Campbell, I wanted him really bad. I thought they'd wait till round 2, but they got him at 18, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I thought they would go Bijan Robinson, but they got Jahmyr Gibbs. Either way, they did what you kind of would expect him to do if you look at the way that he drafts. So he drafts for the player, not for the position. He likes the player. He falls in love with the player. When he went to the Alabama game, his first one he's seen, he was watching Jahmyr Gibbs, and he says, you know what? There's something about this guy. Then he said he kept watching him, and he fell in love with him, the player. And that is another reason why I like Brad Holmes. He could care less about just positional value. He wants a good damn player. Jahmyr Gibbs is that. And then he talks about Jack Campbell, the same thing. He had 14 players in first-round grade, in which he said in a long time he haven't seen a draft this bad with a lack of first-round talent. Initially, at one point during his draft grades, he only had 10 players in the first round, but he pushed it to 14. Number 14 on his list was Jack Campbell. That's why they selected him 18. He had a player they ranked 14, sitting at 18. Then you take the gun and you pull the trigger. Regardless, again, of what I think, what any other mock drafters think, what anyone or ESPN analyst, Todd McShay's, Mel Kiper Jr.'s, all of those goes, he does it the way he sees it. And just like Peter Schrager said, Peter Schrager told him, why is people giving you hell? Because if you look at your drafts, you've done fantastic. Peter Schrager's 100% correct. Why are they getting dumped on when his players has done well? It's not like we're a Matt Millen general manager, so I loved it. I absolutely appreciate Brad Holmes keeping it 100, not bullshitting, not sitting there trying to blow smoke off of people's asses. He could care less. He's going to do what Brad Holmes does, and I love it. I don't want him to do what the fans do. I don't want him to do what I want him to do. I want him to do what his job is paid to do. Him, who is excellent at finding talent, find that talent, bring him to the Detroit Lions, and compete for championships every freaking year. That's exactly what we paid him to do. Also, he talked about him and Dan Campbell are a great team together. He says, you'll understand, I didn't hire Dan Campbell. That was Sheila Ford. That was Spielman. But when we came together, it was a great team. It worked out well. And that's very interesting. Very, very interesting. And what I also like is if you look at how they built the structure of this leadership, it's perfectly fine. If you look at Bob Quinn, Matt Patricia, they were best friends. And the Patriots, they were all happy-go-lucky. It didn't work out. Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, whom never communicated before, are a great team. And it's working out fantastic because you got two individuals who are humble, intelligent, and got the ability to never give up. You put all that together, and you got a great leadership at the top of our football team, and it's really damn good to see because that's exactly what the Lions need for this year, last year, going forward, forever. It's exactly what it is. Lee says it was one of my favorite interviews. It was as mine as well. And I do appreciate him being so candid and open. He also talks about how in season it's busy, but off season it's nuts because as soon as the season's over, he's getting into free agency and the draft. Matter of fact, throughout the season, he's already going to college games and scouting. I'm telling you, that's exactly what it's like on this side here, too. Even when the season's going on, folks, TA, myself, AG, Dern, Mark, everybody is going into college scouting the new players coming into the new season. So it is exactly the same way, folks. I got Detroit pizza better than Chicago pizza. Seen that by D-Money, showing some love to the big, giant, strong, hard, pounding D. You always got to show love to the big D. Look, if you don't show love, if you don't work out your big D to someone you care about after 2 months, guess what, folks? They're gonna look for another D or another team. And sometimes even a Bears fan will jump in the arms of a Lions fan. Just FYI, you got to make sure that you have the strong D.
Oh, my God.
That's an oh, my God moment right there. If you're listening, you already know. Let's see. It was a really good interview. I agree. Opinion. If we are destroying our opponents, do you think they'll take Goff out and put Hooker in to get some playing time for the... for during the game? Honestly, I don't know about this D-Money. It's a great question. I think if it's basically just taking knees, probably not. Because, what are you going to do? Just take a knee? They'll probably just put Sudfeld and do that so he can take the hits. It's not like the person that comes in, generally speaking, if we're way up and beating the crap out of a football team, they're going to hand the football off or they're going to take a knee. They're not really going to throw the football that much. So I definitely think that is probably not going to be the case. Definitely would not. But they could.
I'm giving her a D, man, a strong D.
That's my man from TA from Raw Detroit. Folks, make sure you go ahead and put hashtag Lions in the comment section if you want your question answered. Put hashtag Lions, hashtag LNU, hashtag MIKE, hashtag Lions, whatever the hell you want to put a hashtag Gatorade. Got a Gatorade right here. And I love the Gatorade. I love Powerade. I love all the aid except for AIDS itself. So if you want your question, go ahead and do that. You really got the sense of personality in watching him speak and joke. Yeah, you do. And that's what's really good about Brad Holmes. You get to watch what he's doing. You get to watch how he interacts. And he's just the average guy. And I love the average guy. I love seeing that with our football team. And Dan Campbell's the exact same way. He's very lighthearted. He's the average Joe. He's not trying to be intellectual superior over you. He's not trying to show you that his IQ is much higher and he's better than you. None of that stuff. None of that stuff. The Lions need to make damn sure Hooker's fully healed before they think putting him in. And that's 100%, and they will. He will not be placed in preseason, training camp, or whatever unless he's 100% healed. We've seen that with Jameson Williams. They're very good on making sure their talent is healed before they put him in a playing scenario. And we've seen that with Romeo Okwara. We've seen that with Joshua Pascal. We've seen it everywhere. I think we should be perfectly fine with the idea if they're going to put a player in, they are healthy. They're not going to push it. And that's facts. How many Pro Bowlers will the defense produce this year? Interesting question. Man, oh man. Thank you, Dragon Fan. You must have seen that on Facebook. And I'll just continue to tell you, I got my house. It is good to go, and I move in August 10, so stress relief for me. I've been stressing like crazy because of the house move. That no longer is a stressor until I actually move my stuff into there. Lions, how many Pro Bowlers will the Lions defense have this year? Remember that Pro Bowl is an accolade that you get for being popular in the NFL, not necessarily what you produce. So I could see a situation C.J. Gardner-Johnson absolutely in the Pro Bowl, and potentially even Aiden Hutchinson, because he is becoming popular in the NFL. Remember, it's fan voting, you got players voting, you got media voting, you got voting. So it's not necessarily just because of the work you do, on your respected position, but more the fact that you're somewhat popular. So I'll go with those two for defense and see how that goes in there. Let's see here. It says to reach out and follow Mike Kimber. Mike, Lions Talk by Chat Sports on Twitter. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Grandizer. And he's dropped my information there. You can get the memberships, Wood League, Silver League, Gold League, recurring payment, cancel anytime. That's it. Got to have that big, hard D. Absolutely. And look, you just got to do that. So if you want questions, throw it in the comments section right there. Hashtag smash the hole. Hashtag hit the hole. Hit that like button. Yes, go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't done so. It definitely does help out. We got some yoga fires going on here, and that's exactly what I want. So go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't done so. If you got questions, throw it in the comments below. Again, we'll probably be going live at 1 p.m. every single time on Thursdays and Tuesdays. Why? Because my kid's cheer's coming up. I got to take her to practice. I got to watch those events, and I cannot miss out on any of her stuff. My kids come first. Always that way. So, again, it will be 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock Tuesdays and Thursdays. And Herm will be back on Tuesday, and we got some big news we'll be dropping, and it's going to be freaking exciting. So, get ready for that. Should the Detroit Lions trade for Quinnen Williams? Well, they're not going to trade for Quinnen Williams, I think. Well, first off, it would be epic. I don't think they're doing it. First off, the Jets would have to trade him. Makes no sense when they got Aaron Rodgers over there for a year or two. They want to win a Super Bowl, and you're going against the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins, two teams that are elite in the AFC. You could be the third best team in your own division. So I don't think so, and I'm going to keep saying that unless something changes. Last question, officer, should give the Lions fans goosebumps. Yes, because he cares. You know what I always like, too? The fact what Brad Holmes was talking about, he almost died. He was in the ICU for 10 days. And he said never give up. You just keep grinding, and you will get what you want if you have your goal on it. And I agree with him wholeheartedly. If you got a goal of some sort, you need to go ahead and continue, even though if God has sent you a little bit of issues. You got some bad luck as of late. Just keep grinding. It will happen. I got told I could never feel the left side of my body again. Guess what? Not only do I feel the left side of my body again, I feel everything, and I'm lifting weights when I got told I could not. Jets not making the playoffs. Yes, he is not. That would be nice if they didn't make the playoffs. I would laugh my ass off from top to bottom, because that would be absolutely hilarious. I think they will, because they're a very talented football team, and they had a mess at quarterback last year. I do believe Aaron Rodgers is much better than what they had last year, and that should push them. Yes, he almost died. Brad Holmes in this ICU for 10 days. Listen to that interview. It's about, I'd say about the 35-minute mark where he starts talking about it, maybe a little bit earlier than that. But hardcore. And he worked as a car rental. So that's what he did when he's trying to get his degree. He was trying to make some noise. He was doing that for sure. Let's see. Fetalized Law lists you about to pass out. Well, it must be time for you to take a nap at 1:19 p.m. Yep, very bad car accident. Damn near killed him. And that's crazy. Folks, if you got questions, put it in the comment section. I want your questions answered. It makes this podcast and stream go much, much better when I'm hearing some Lions questions for you guys about training camp coming up. Anything you want to know, let me know in the comments below. We got some big battles taking place. Who is going to get the final running back spot? Is it Jermar Jefferson? Is it Mo Ibrahim? Jason Kabinda, even though he's a fullback, tight end, running, whatever the hell you want to call him, he's in that mix as well. Who's going to get the final wide receiver spot? I do think it's Antoine Green, but maybe it's not. Will Logan Stenberg make the team? I don't believe so. Will Halapoulides Vaitai be the Lions' right guard? I do believe so. Will Graham Glasgow be the backup? Seems more likely. Hendon Hooker, should he be good to go? A lot of things that we could talk about on the defensive line. Broderick Martin, how well does he do in training camp? And does he jump a little bit for the Lions? You trade up for him in the third round. You want to see the big body guy in there. So get to watch him at training camp. That's going to be really, really nice. We move closer to camp. Who do you have in our starting linebacking core? Alex Anzalone. I have Jack Campbell. And I don't know between Derek Barnes and I must say Malcolm Rodriguez starts it. He was injured for OTAs and minicamp. I still think he's got a leg up. But Derek Barnes has been fighting his ass off. And so it's going to be fun to watch in training camp. Those guys battle it out to see who's going to be getting the most playing time. Generally speaking, they only have two linebackers out there at one time anyways, but they do have a rotation, and I want to see who's that rotation guy. I'm kind of dog pound. I kind of agree with you just because, he was starting last year, but we'll see what happens in training camp. Can Derek Barnes jump up in there and take that spot? We'll see. That'll battle probably all the way through the third preseason game. That will go all the way down probably to the last minute. Detroit Lions on the prowl. Yes, no longer doing shows anymore. That kind of sucks. I really enjoyed them. Unfortunately, everybody's got to sometimes move in different directions, and it happens. So I wish all those people nothing but the best. How much will Hutch play inside this year? Oh, great question. I would probably say not much. I don't believe so. I think he's predominantly going to be on the outside. I think we got more talent now on the interior than we did last year. I think he'll predominantly be the edge. They'll do that every once in a while, right? They're going to do their NASCAR package, and they'll put in some speed guys in there. But I don't think it's going to be something that's going to happen on a regular even as much as it did last year. I can't wait for football season. Now, I am with you 100%. I want to see the football season right meow. We're literally less than 2 months away from the regular season. We're preseason's 3 weeks away? They'll have the Hall of Fame game, so it's going to be nice. It's going to be epically nice. I'll be at training camp, watch a training camp, and then I'll be able to watch that preseason game in my hotel room. Where is Holmes' interview at? I need to take and listen to it. Search. Go on NFL.com. It's under there. You can also search Peter Schrager, Brad Holmes on YouTube. They'll come up. It's all on YouTube. It's about an hour and 15 minutes long. Question here from Phantom Lion. Do you think Levi is go for this season? I think he's a no-go for this season. My personal belief is he will get released with an injury settlement. I do not believe he will be on the Lions 53-man roster. With that said, if he is, that's a huge plus. I just don't personally believe it. That's my thing. Training camp is free, but you got to get tickets this year. It is free, but I'm going to just say this. There's a great chance if you just go in there, stay in a line, they kind of just give the tickets out, but it's free. It's a fun day every single day. Go check it out. It's not like it's super packed or anything. It's fun to go. Did you say Mark Orm got in a bad car accident? No, I did not. That was Brad Holmes got into a car accident years and years and years ago. Not Mark Orm. Mark Orm is my buddy. He is my pal, and he's completely fine. Let's help get Mike 100 likes. Yeah, absolutely. If you've not hit that like button, go ahead and smash it right meow. Right meow, it does help out. Any chance Hutch makes a snap as linebacker like Holmes had the Aaron Donald delay? Possible. You could see something like that. Was it the Chicago Bears game where he was on the sideline, got really close, or close to the sideline, they snapped it, and he got the interception from Justin Fields? So you could see a situation like that. Situational, not regular. Just keep that in mind. I'm not saying anything regular. You want your question answered, you could also put hashtag smash the hole, because here on the One Pride podcast, we enjoy smashing holes hardcore. That's what we do. Strong D, smash that hole. You got to break the line, and you got to make sure that you explode on the defense, or else you're not an offense, and we don't want that. So make sure you go do hashtag line, hashtag smash the hole, hashtag FGB. We all love FGB. That's the best way to go here. With 101 in the building and 52 likes, we are 48 likes away from 100 to get an ultra combo. So if you have not smashed that like button, smash it right meow, and we will get the ultra combo. There it is right now. If you'd like to see the interview, Brad Holmes, The Season with Peter Schrager. It's an hour and 11 minutes. That is where it's at. Do you think Brad Holmes will go get another defensive tackle, or do you think he's content with the defensive tackle room? This is a great question. I think he potentially could, just for a rotational guy or a camp body, but I'm not suggesting they're going to go out and get Aaron Donald, or they're going to get Quinnen Williams, or they're going to get Ndamukong Suh right now, or anything like that. It potentially could be a camp body. I think that's plausible or possible. We'll do 48-52. I want to see the Lions run the Fumble-Rooski this season, if anyone could. It's the Lions. The Fumble-Rooski. Look, they'll what was that formation? I forgot what team it was, but it was the Dallas Cowboys where the running back was the center, and then it was like a bunch of wide receivers or something. Ezekiel Elliott was the center. He got pushed down. A ridiculous formation. I hope they don't do that type of formation. Oh my goodness, that was terrible. Kind of keep it original. I think they will. I think you'll see some fun stuff this year. We've seen it already, and they'll keep that thing going for sure. Should we have drafted Kalijah Kancey? He's going to beast, and now he's paired with Vita Vea over there in Tampa. You know, I liked Kalijah Kancey. I thought he was a really good defensive tackle. I think the Lions could have took him at pick 18, and he went right after that to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With that said, Brad Holmes had 14 players with first-round grade. He had a first-round grade on Jack Campbell, and he must not have had a first-round grade on Kalijah Kancey. So if that is the case, I am fine with what he did there. I do believe you draft whom you think is the better player, not just now, but for the future. I do like Kalijah Kancey, though. I do like him. I think he'll be really good. Him and Vita Vea will feast like they did with Ndamukong Suh. But I'm fine. I love Jack Campbell. Y'all already know. I mean, I love Jack. I've been talking about Jack Campbell for almost a damn year. So when you talk about a player and you've seen them work as much as I have, you're really happy that he's on your football team because you're a fan of the player. So I'm fine with them going Jack Campbell at 18. I'm happy with it. But you're right. I do think Kalijah Kancey is a special defensive tackle, and he's going to be good. So I'm not going to even dog that for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just because he's not the guy who the Lions selected. Thanks, Grand Ozer. I'm getting ready for an appointment. Was in the shower. I saw the interview. Yes. Definitely. I love showers. I love taking a shower. Take a shower a little bit later tonight. Have a good one here. Let's see. David Barnett says, Chark missed 6 games last year, but the offense is still great. Will missing Jamo set us back? Very much. I think it is going to set the offense back to taking the offense to the extreme good. I don't think it's going to set the offense back. I think our offense is really good. It was still good even without Jameson Williams. But for our offense to take that elite next step where you have that extra dimension, I think it will. And it's going to take a little bit of time for him and Jared Goff to get on the same page. I know that's probably not what you want to hear or out there people want to hear, but it does take a little bit of time for a wide receiver and a quarterback to get on the same page. It does. And they've had issues in OTAs and minicamp, and missing the first 6 games is just going to add to that. So hopefully, when we're getting ready for the playoffs, Jameson Williams and Jared Goff are squared away and good to go by then. That's probably what we should really be waiting for. Are they connected, like, at the hip at that point? Because if they are, they can make their run for sure. I love the diversity in the secondary. May take a second to click, though. It's possible, but it's clicking already, Jay Schultz, from OTAs and minicamp, and watching Jared Goff struggle, hearing him talk about it is very good. It's a good sign, but you're right. There's going to be moments it's going to take a little bit of time while all these guys click. It's going to take, it's to be extremely good, right? I think they're going to be very good right off rip, but I think to take it to that next level, you're right, it'll take a little bit of time. And that's fine. I think this secondary will be good to go, like 100% good to go. Probably, week 8, week 9, and it doesn't matter at that point because we're not just trying to win a game. We're trying to win playoff games. And in my opinion, we should be the odds-on favorite to win the NFC North, and focusing on that playoff game a little bit. And everything should be squared away by then. Let's see. Marvin Jones and Josh Reynolds are the only deep threats as of now. Khalif Raymond's a deep threat. He's just not tall. Remember, Khalif Raymond takes some big passes by Jared Goff. He's just not tall. So he is a deep threat, just not the size threat. Will McNeil take the next step up since edge is more established? I think he will, and he dropped some body weight. He drops, he said, 13% body fat, and that's going to make him stronger on the defensive line. And if that's the case, he takes that next step on his 3rd year. That's great because we need him. He's good at stopping the run. I'd like to see him a little bit better smacking the quarterback, and maybe dropping 13% body fat will give him a little more energy to do such a task. Did Amon-Ra say he wanted the deep ball this year? Yes, he did, Dr. Detroit. He absolutely did. And I'm sure he'll get his plays, but he's so damn good in the middle of the field. He's so good at being a first down receiver. It's hard not to be mad at Ben Johnson for scheming him in these plays. I understand he wants these deep passes, but god dang, he's the savior in the middle. Let's see. Haven't heard much from Sorsdale as yet. Is he showing promise? He's backup right now. Remember, Graham Glasgow is the backup to Halapoulivaati Vaitai. Sorsdale will be I think he'll be the backup guard for either Jackson and at some point maybe for Halapoulivaati Vaitai. That's why you're not hearing a lot from him, because there's a lot of other players. Leaf is tiny lightning. Yes, he is. He is absolutely amazing. Khalif Raymond is the Flash. He is. The Lions winning the division. Do we have any other divisional teams make the wild card spot? Maybe the Minnesota Vikings, potentially. Other than that, I don't see the Bears or the Packers making the playoffs. The Packers, I think they take a significant step back. I think the Bears take a big step forward, 7-8 wins. But generally speaking, to make a wild card, you have to have 9 to 10 wins. So maybe the Vikings. That's it. We have Gibbs. We have Gibbs to take his place week 7, right? Gibbs. Yes, Gibbs will be taking everyone's place week 1 through 17. As long as he's healthy, he is going to be playing wide receiver. And you heard it from the interview from Brad Holmes. They didn't draft a running back. They drafted a offensive weapon. And so he'll be in there. He's going to get a lot of those catches for that Jameson Williams probably would have gotten. We've seen the jet sweep with Jameson Williams. Best believe you're going to see Jahmyr Gibbs doing stuff like that, and he's going to be getting footballs. Probably, be getting in the middle of the field, maybe some 10-yard passes to try to take it up the field, so maybe that will open it up for Amon-Ra St. Brown for him to get a little more deeper in his shots because you got a Jahmyr Gibbs, but I still love St. Brown in the middle, and I know he wants more deep threats, but he is the savior of this offense. He is the reason this offense, one of the big reasons this offense continues to be really dynamic, is all he does is get first downs, keeps the chains moving. Let's see. Our guy, Mike Kimber, is winning all day, every day, and twice a day, and I appreciate you for sure.
Got him!
Jahmyr Gibbs is a hybrid running back wide receiver. Absolutely is. Port will get in there also. Ports will get in there. Yes, Laporta is going to get a lot in the middle as well. There's so many weapons on offense that can wreak havoc in the middle of the defense that this chain should be moving quite a bit. St. Brown, Jahmyr, Laporta, Brock Wright. These guys are all going to get in there. Khalif Raymond, even though he does do some deep routes, probably a little bit more than you would think. We love him to a middle, and we do something for 6 weeks. 100%. He will be up in there, and he'll be ripping that ass. Folks, we got 59 likes with 101 in the building. Let's go ahead and get to 65 likes. That is 7 away, or 6 away. We can do that right now for sure. Don't forget Mega Tion. Yeah, green, and a green, and a green. Yes, Antoine Green. I just don't know how much he's going to play this year as a 6 wide receiver. He may get some snaps, but I wouldn't expect him to be getting a significant amount. So if you're thinking this guy is going to get like 500 yards passing, I would definitely do way below that because there's a lot of receivers ahead of him right now in the depth. I would love to see us do a version of Fridge from Ditka's Bears. Oh, my goodness. That would be funny. That would be funny. What is more of our strength, the offensive line or defensive secondary? I'm going to go number 1 is the secondary now, and number 2 is the offensive line. But if you wanted to throw it around as the 1 offensive line or 2 secondary, I'm not going to complain because they're both extremely strong for this Lions football team, and you can't argue with it. You just can't. They're both are absolutely amazing, and they are major strengths for a football team. Both of them are. Better year, Gibbs or Bijan? Gibbs sharing with Montgomery, but Falcons crowded running back room. I'm going to go with Jahmyr Gibbs because he's going to get a lot of opportunity with this offense. Ben Johnson is going to give him a lot. If we've seen it in OTAs and minicamp, he's involved already quite a bit. So I'm going to expect he'll be involved more. In the Lions, who do you trust more right now? Desmond Ridder or Jared Goff? I think 100 out of 100 fans would say Jared Goff. I trust Goff to give Jahmyr Gibbs the football in the passing game a little bit more than Desmond Ridder to Robinson in their passing game. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to Gibbs. Let's see. Against the Bears would be even better. Oh, yeah. The Ditka's rules, right? The Ditka's rules. You know, if you're a Bears fan listening to this, and I don't know if you're someone that I know who's a Bears fan, Sundays is going to be fun, especially when the Lions face the Chicago Bears, whether it be at Soldier Field or at Ford Field. It's going to be fun. Win, lose, or draw, it's going to be fun. A lot of crap going to be talking, and it's going to be fun crap. That is for sure. That is for sure. What do we got going on here? We got 111 to building, 61 likes, 4 more to 65. Goff. Yes, Goff is definitely the better of the quarterbacks. I like Desmond Ridder, and I liked him out of the draft last year, but that would be ridiculous to say that Desmond Ridder is better than Jared Goff right now, or you trust Desmond Ridder. I don't know. You know, we don't know the ceiling for him right now for Ridder, but there's no way that you can go with Ridder being a better quarterback than Jared Goff. Jared Goff right now is probably the 3rd best quarterback in the NFC right now. You look at it. So Desmond Ridder, you know, shout out to you, but I do trust Jared Goff dumping the football off to Jahmyr Gibbs than I do you dumping the football off to Bijan Robinson. And I love Bijan Robinson. I do think he's the better running back, but at the same time, we're in the better situation. Out of any free agents on the market, what player do you want to get to help to complete the team? D-Hop, Sue, Chase Young. Well, Chase Young is not a free agent. He's still on the Washington Commanders football team. So that would be a situation I probably wouldn't do. I do like Ndamukong Suh, but he's not going to come and sign with any team anytime soon. It'll probably be past the halfway season mark. D-Hop would be really nice, but he's going to cost quite a bit, and we already got a good wide receiver room. So, in all honesty, I'm fine with what we have right now. I know that sounds maybe a little Homer-ish, but I'm fine with what we got. How about we just wait until the 53-man roster is cut down for each 32 teams, and we'll see what free agents on the market, and at that point you potentially could upgrade because we really don't know who's going to be out there. But I like those guys. I just think that we're fine a lot. I think we're pretty good. I mean, lackluster. The position that's probably the least would be defensive tackle, and it's not even that least. The only reason I say that is I just don't believe that Levi Onwuzurike is going to be on the team starting week 1. That's the reason why. But they got to let him at least try, right? They got to let him see if he can get in there for training camp, so you got to give him a try. I want to see Martin swapping with Buggs. Buggs, too. I like Isaiah Buggs. Him and Broderick Martin will be swapping quite a bit. They're both big-bodied guys. They're a rotation, and the interior is going to be rotating quite a bit, and that's what you want. These are big fellas, folks. They get tired easy. They eat a lot of pizzas and hamburgers and chicken wings. These guys need to be rested up so when the fourth quarter runs around, they're not dragging ass. And then the teams are running 5 yards a carry on us every single freaking snap. They win because it's first down, 5 yards, second down, 4 yards, third down, 4 yards, automatic first down, and they just continue on. The game's over. So we need to rotate Broderick Martin, Isaiah Buggs, John Kaminsky, Joshua Pascal, all these guys quite a bit. And that's fine. What's up, Keith Hawley? Welcome to the One Pride Podcast, where we talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. What? That's exactly what we do. Starting 1 p.m. now on Tuesdays and Thursdays. My kid's a cheerleader, and she's a captain. She needs her dad going to those meets. Taking her to practice. Watching her kick ass on the sideline on football games. So that is the truth, and that's the bottom line, because I said so. Thank you, Stone Cold Steve Austin 316. I bought a Buggs jersey in March right after they were signed him. That's awesome, man. That is a jersey you probably don't see a whole lot of people wearing. And I really like Isaiah Buggs. I like it. It's a damn good jersey. You're probably the only person besides Buggs and his family that has that jersey. John Grab for the victory right there. I don't think Levi will make the after roster. I think the Lions, maybe allowing him to team for 3 years, you can see get an NFL pension. Possibly. I think he's done. When you have a fusion on your spine, somebody who's personally had it, it feels much better. Trust me. Like, I'm so happy I got the fusion. If you guys got a bad spine and you're debating on getting a fusion, if the surgeon tells you should consider getting it, I'm telling you right now, mine was an absolute success. It has took the pain away. Do I get sore? Yes. Is it pain? No. With that said, when you have a fusion, your bones are fused together. Guess what? Mobility is non-existent where it's at, because it's one giant bone instead of 2 or 3 or 4. So I had mine fused. This is as far as I can look up now. Why? Because they're fused together. I can't bend my hand all the way back. So it depends where he got the fusion. But everything that we've seen in OTAs and minicamp is exactly what I expected. Not a whole lot going on with Levi. Just stretching around. That's not much you can do, right? I bought a Jameson Williams jersey before he touched the field. Number 9. Oh, this ain't my 9 jersey. Okay. Number 9's in my room. Sorry, folks. If you could see my office, it's actually pretty damn bare. Why? Because I'm moving in a couple weeks. And so I don't got a whole lot of anything in here. I just got one of my jerseys and 2 hats. Generally, I have like 5 jerseys, 20 hats, all sorts of stuff piled up, so I can look a little bit different every single time I get on here. Quinnen signed a mega deal. Yes, he did. Let's see. Big ups to Lions for allowing him to get the pension. That's if that's what they're trying to do. Not saying it's happening, so that could be a thing. Let's see. I have a cervical back fusion, but I don't play 100%. And Ronan, I'm sure you loved it. I've had nothing but good experience with my fusion, and I'm so happy I had it. It saved me from being paralyzed. So, but it definitely, you're limited after that. It's just the way it is. You mean Stafford jersey. Matthew Stafford, whom almost was a Atlanta Falcon. Can you believe that? They almost traded him. Oh, my God. Kelly Stafford would be going absolutely bonkers. They thought they had it all made over there in LA and get shipped to Atlanta. That would be crazy. It didn't happen. They're keeping him this year. I think this is Stafford's last year. What do you guys think in the comment section? I think Stafford retires after this year. That's my. Do you think he retires? Put R retired or put N for no. I think he's done. I think he's retired after this year. Lions had issues with stopping the run last season. You think they addressed that problem? They did address the problem. Is it fully addressed? No. It's a work in progress. Is it improved? Yes. It is absolutely improved. Broderick Martin, yes. He is going to help stop the run. And remember, Charles Harris and Romeo Okwara, they're there and healthy. I do think Joshua Pascal is healthy. They are there as well. Defensive tackle worries me, but our edge guys might be the best. Do you think Hutch and Houston, both 15-plus sacks guys? I think Hutch is. I don't think Houston will get to that point. I think Houston's really good, but I do think Hutchin will get there. I know Houston did it really well with the limited snaps that he had, almost matched Aiden Hutchinson. But I just still like the Aiden Hutchinson to get that because he'll be on the field more, and I don't know how much Houston's going to be on the field. Stafford, a first ballot Hall of Famer. That'll be interesting if he does go get into the Hall of Fame. He did win that Super Bowl. If he didn't win that Super Bowl, that would not happen. Since he did win it, possible. What unit are you most excited to compete for in training camp? It's got to be the defensive backs out there. I mean, this unit is going to be so fun, Ronan. This unit to watch to see how they all compete because every one of them's damn good. Every one of them brings something to their game that we all like. Tracy Walker, Brian Branch, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Kerby Joseph, Jerry Jacobs, Cameron Sutton, Emmanuel Mosley. Oh, my God. You got Chase Lucas, the young stud in there. I don't even know if he makes the team. You got Will Harrison there as well, but it's going to be fun to watch these guys battle it out. It's going to be fun to watch them all battle it out to see who's going to get what. Because there is a lot of competition and high talent. High talent. Ronan says, we will add a defensive tackle at the 53 cut down. I kind of with you there, Ronan. I kind of agree with you because of the Levi thing, and it does make sense, especially if a player gets released from another team, and it's like, you know what? Ooh, this is a good player to pick up. Maybe a young defensive tackle that can help out in the rotation. I do think that's possible. I agree with you. I think that would be the look at. Of all the positions, that would be the one I'd probably look at because I'm comfortable with quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, offensive line, running back, besides or the edge rusher, linebacker, safety, cornerback. There got battle going on for kicker right now. We got Michael Badgley. We got Romo. We got Patterson. We already know Jack Fox is the GOAT, so there's that one position, interior. Will Harris finally getting cut. I'm calling for it. Jonathan Anton, I say yes. This is when he gets cut. I say yes. This is the time he gets cut. There's just so much competition in that room. You know, just because he's universal doesn't make him the best player under 53. Over under on interceptions with Kansas City, 2. I'll take 2. I'll just go ahead and take 2. I think that's a good number right there. Patrick Mahomes is not butt cheeks. It's going to be difficult, but we do got a really good secondary, so I'll go with 2. Stafford signed through 2026. Rams can't let him go anywhere. His dead cap hit will be unbelievable. If he retires, in which I think he retires, Richard. I think this is his last year. I think he retires after this year. He is beat up. His body is beat up, tore up from the floor up. And it doesn't matter how much money you have, your body is still beat. And if I'm Kelly Stafford, I'd say, look, hon, I love you, but do you want to be a cripple when you're 50? You done it. You got your ring. You've shown that you're a kick-ass quarterback. You know, let's be family, man. I could see that situation happening. Will Harris is toast. I believe so. Let's see. Lions, have you seen Mission Impossible? Seen it last night with my kids. They loved it. They had a great time watching it. Took both my kids to watch Mission Impossible last night. Mike, will Jack Campbell start this year? Yes, he will start this year. Sorry, no trade for Quinnen Williams. I agree, Jets fan. The reason I put this out there, Jets fan, is because here locally, we have 1,005,000 articles that's talking about Quinnen Williams, and I'm sure you've seen it from multiple teams. Teams traded for Quinnen Williams, and the reason I don't believe that's the case is your team's trying to make a Super Bowl run. You just got Aaron Rodgers. You want to be able to have the most talent on your team. Quinnen Williams, one of the best defensive tackles on football. It doesn't make sense to trade him. If you're trying to win a Super Bowl, it just doesn't. I think he's gone too. He lived the dream. Yep, he did. He lived the dream. You know, and you don't want to be, I mean, he broke his back. He's going to have all sorts of stuff. Will Stafford have his jersey retired in Detroit? I don't know. No, I don't think so. Because Jamison Williams has already got number 9. I'm going to say to the no on that. I'm going to say no. Panthers and Seahawks, how do you think the revenge match goes? I hope we win. Seahawks, still a tough game. They got a good team. They know how to draft over there. I want to win. Panthers, I do think the Lions win. I think it was more of a fluke last year of what happened, of getting our butts handed to. With that said, I think the Lions can beat them. The Panthers are, I think they're better than what they were last year, but at the same time, we played our worst game of all time last year at that time. The weather was horrible. The field was like everything that went wrong. Everything that went wrong. So, 100%. If the Lions are making a playoff push, do you think they sign Sue? Dixie Normus first. I love the name. Absolutely do. So, I think it depends on what Sue wants. Jets just signed Quinnen Williams, 4-year, $96 million deal. Well, huge shout out to Quinnen Williams. I didn't think they were taking him anyways. Anybody knows this. Breaking news, Jets signed Quinnen Williams. I didn't think the Lions or any other team was trading for him. I thought Quinnen Williams would be a Jet because they're trying to win a Super Bowl. And so, huge shout out to Quinnen Williams. He deserves every penny. He's one of the best interior defensive linemen in all of football. And he deserves that extension. So, huge shout out to him. I don't think that's an overpay, folks. He's young. Quinnen Williams is a good player, so really good for them to get him under contract. Please in Q-Dub, and it's good to go. Just like I've been saying, Lions ain't going to be getting him. And I didn't even, like I said, I started this thing without even knowing that. So, any free agent targets that you would like to see on the Lions? No, not right now. If Levi gets released, and what I think, maybe down the road, you could get a guy whom, like a Sue or something like that, or if you want to trade for somebody for the trade deadline, but I'm fine right now. How much were willing to spend on the top interior defensive lineman? How much would I do it? I would spend some money on it. I absolutely would, because they're difference makers, and you just seen Jets just signed Quinnen Williams. It's hard to find a big body guy in the middle that can get it done. Who can sack, stop the run, who's physical on the line of scrimmage, who's good at getting sacks, who is young at 25. So, yeah, I mean, I absolutely would. Absolutely would. Great timing. They signed Quinnen Williams right when I'm doing this live stream. What is the odds of that? We got 71 likes, 152 in the building. Do you think Quinnen Williams got paid what he should have got paid? Why for yes and N for no? I'm going to say why. I'm very high on him. He is one of the best defensive linemen in football, so I'm going to say yes, he deserved the pay he got there, 4 years, 96. I know it's a Lions stream, but It happened while we're streaming, which is freaking awesome, and I love Quinnen Williams. I've been talking about him for a long time. So, yeah, Ronan says yes. John says yes. There you go. I haven't seen any no's yet. I'm sure maybe a few will pop up, but Chrome says yes as well. He absolutely got paid the right contract. I think the Jets did a good job right there. They didn't overpay for him. He's that damn good. 4 years, 96. He's just that damn good. He's a good player. So they got their defense is going to continue to be strong as they attempt to make their Super Bowl run. Who knows? Maybe the Jets make it to the Super Bowl. And Kerby Joseph can do an interception to Karen Rodgers in the Super Bowl. I don't know. No, it'd be crazy. But everyone said yes. He's in Mike Reed and Dixie Normus. Dixie Normus with the greatest name. And if my last name was Normus and my mom named me Dixie, I'm going to say thank you, Ma. You're the greatest mom of all time. Grandizer said yes, he should have gotten more. Probably, potentially, he could have. What free agent do you want us to sign? Not really any right now. Alex and Keith all say yes, so we're 100% yes on him getting signed. I've always liked Schrags from Good Morning Football, even more so now. He is starstruck in Holmes in the interview. Schrags has always shown love to the Detroit Lions, Rodin, and I do like his take. He's always liked the Lions, as far as I remember. And yeah, he was really happy to get Holmes on there. Been trying to get him on. That's what he was saying, and they were talking about. So really, really cool for that interview to take place, and we get an idea of the thought process of our general manager, Brad Holmes, and we always wanted to get that in there. We wanted to see what he's like. But, folks, we've been on for nearly an hour, and guess what? It's that time to say adios. It's about that time for me to get on and end the stream. So I appreciate everybody hanging out. Shout out to Quinnen Williams for getting paid while we're streaming. Shout out to you guys for taking time out of your day to listen to me. And I will see you all next week. With that said, folks, adios.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory, yeah. Don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring, I just want a life that is worth every day exploring,
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be